everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hey boo. But if this is your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, I don't know, but however many times you've come back, thank you so much for coming back. So yes, new hair, I did it, period. So I'm really nervous to make this video. It's a topic that's like nobody really talks about it all the time, and people are scared. People are scared. No, people are scared. There's people that is scared. It's people that are scared. There's people that are scared to talk about it, or they may not be comfortable opening up. But today I'm going to be talking to y'all. I'm going to be very vulnerable. A lot of people don't know that I've been through this. A lot of people never knew. They probably would have never thought that little Miss Smiley, little Miss Asia, whatever, has gone through depression. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about depression and anxiety because I've been through both. So let's get started. The way that I plan for this video to go is to tell my story, give some tips, and then we're going to pray together. I'm going to try not to make this video too long, but I want to say a whole bunch of stuff that may help somebody. I really hope that y'all enjoy the video. I'm sorry that I'm talking too much, and yeah, let's get into my story. A lot of people, they deal with depression in different ways. There are various reasons as to why people have depression, why people feel depressed, why people feel a certain way, why people do certain things. Even though my story may be different from yours, it may relate or correlate in some areas. But I firstly want to let y'all know that depression is not what everybody makes it seem to be. Depression is not just some mental health thing that is going on. Depression is a spirit. Depression is a spiritual attack. If you don't like Jesus, if you don't know Jesus, if you don't love Jesus, if you don't want to hear about Jesus, then this is not the video for you, because I did not handle my depression the way that everybody else may have done. I handle it spiritually. I don't take pills. I don't go to the doctor. I don't do nothing. I'm just finna tell y'all my story. So I'm really gonna try not to cry. I promise you I'm gonna try not to cry, but I'm probably gonna cry. I'm 20, and this story goes all the way back to like 2012, 2013. I was 12 when I first experienced it. When I was 12, 11, 12, was I 10? I don't know. But when I was 11, 12, whatever, I was on fire for God. I was that little girl. I was the one who was always in church. I prayed so much. I was reading the Bible. Like, I was young, so I didn't know what I know now, but like I was just reading. I was reading like 3 to 5 chapters a day. I was doing everything I could to possibly please God. No, I was that young vessel that was God. It was me and God. It was me and God. It was like this, whatever. Then in 2012, you know how on the New Year's Eve, service, you in church, you ready for the new year, you like, I'm finna do this, I'm finna do all of this stuff, I'm finna accomplish all of this, I'm finna go into the best year of my life. That was my mindset. I was ecstatic, I was ready, I was happy, and I was ready to just seek God even more. When we were at church, you know how they do the countdowns and all of that stuff. We were literally counting down, and then like as soon as that clock hit midnight, January 1st, 2013, I felt a darkness literally come over me. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it just felt like a darkness, just like, whew, dark. So it was light, then dark. It's just, I felt something that I've never felt ever in my life, and I was young, so I didn't understand it. So I'm like, I'm over here like happy, yay, whoa, it's the new year, yes. But I still, to this day, I remember not feeling happy whatsoever. I remember like I was confused. I was like, what in the world? Like, what just clicked? Like, what happened? I know that I'm not the only person who dealt with it at a young age, but just to feel that and to not know what was going on, it was hard. For some people, when they're young, they don't go through as much, or they may not understand what they're going through. And I was one of those people. I'm not gonna say that when I was little I did not go through stuff, because I very much did. And I very much did. And okay, I did my makeup for no reason. Okay, so like I said, I it's a feeling that if you have never experienced it, you probably will not understand what it feels like. But it is so dark. It is so dark, and it is so heavy, and it is awful. And I'm pushing through this. Okay, come on, Asia. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so basically that year I cried more than I've probably ever cried in my life. During that time, I cried like every day, every single day. Nobody really knows that, but I cried so much. And I just felt so horrible. On the inside, I felt like I was just this awful person. I didn't deserve anything. I wasn't enough. And the main reason why I I was depressed was because I felt like I wasn't pleasing God. And that may be silly to you, but when somebody means that much to you and you feel like you're a disappointment to them, and just you can never please them, and there's nothing you can do to like basically make them happy. Like I said, I was one of the people that sat there and did as much as I could to please God, and it just felt like it wasn't enough. Before that year, before I felt that, I felt like I was doing good, I was doing great. But then when that thing came over me, it's like everything just turned bad. And trust me, I'm not somebody who has this horrible life or is this horrible person. I made great grades, I have a great family, have friends, all of that stuff. And I don't believe that I had a reason to be depressed at 12 years old. And so, like I said, I cried so much. And if you saw me without makeup, I don't even know if you can see it. No, because I put that concealer on. Okay. So if you saw me in person, or you saw something without me wearing makeup, I have these bags up under my eyes. And that's from crying so much that year. And I was just crying and crying and crying, and I felt worthless, and I felt like I wasn't doing what was right, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It was just a horrible year, and it's like nobody knew, because like, why would I tell people about that? And then for the longest, I don't think, if I remember correctly, I didn't even know what was wrong with me. I just felt sad, and the devil had it planted in my head that I was not pleasing God. And all I remember from those years is being sad, or all I remember from that year is just being sad and crying a lot. And that is not the only time that I felt depression, but this is just like the beginning of what happened. One day, me and my family, we were on a vacation. I believe it was in Orlando. At the time, I felt depressed and I was sad, and I was just like in a low space. And so my mom picked up on it, and she just felt me. She can feel my spirit basically. But she felt the heaviness, and she felt that sadness. And just like other people's parents, they probably like try to dismiss it and like, girl, like, what are you sad for? Like, what are you, like, what, get over it type jump. She didn't tell me to get over it, but she was just like, girl, if you don't pray that spirit off of you. And then I was like, huh? what you talking about? Because I'm like, that's a spirit. What? Like, I prayed and then I just felt better. And I was just like, wow. Like, I've been praying throughout the year and stuff, but like to actually call it by a spirit, it just like lifted it off of me. Even after praying it off for that moment or whatever, I felt good, but then I fell back into it. And yes, Jesus is a deliverer. Yes, Jesus delivers, all that stuff. But just like you can fall back into your sin, you can fall back into like temptation or deception or whatever too. And so that's what I did, because I was still like 12 years old and I didn't understand. I didn't understand spirits. Like, I grew up in church, but I never like really understood it. I remember I was going to crystals and I felt bad and I felt sad and stuff too. And I'm just like, God, I'm not pleasing you and stuff. And then I heard something in me, 99%, 100%, I'm pretty sure that that was God. And he was like, who told you that? Like, who told you that you were not pleasing me? Who told you that you were worthless? Who told you that you didn't mean anything? Who told you that you were doing stuff wrong? Who told you that you were a mistake, that you were a failure? Like, who told you that? That was like, okay, okay. But then I got to my granny's house and I tried to tell her about it. And then she said, who told you that? And I'm like, wow. So I'm like, I'm over here having the devil whisper in my ear and tell me all this stuff. And like, he's a liar. So like, why am I believing that? Like, who told you all of that stuff that's in your ear? Who is telling you everything that you're feeling? Who told you that? And if it's people, I really don't want to get into the advice thing right now, but if it's people, even if they mean the most to you, if they're not God, then their opinions don't matter. Their idea of you does not matter. Who are they to judge you? Who are they to call you ugly? Who are they to say that you're not enough? Who are they? Who told you that? If it's somebody in person, somebody just whispering in your ear, whatever, like, who told you that? And I really want you to think about it. Like, if you're going through that specific thing, who told you, like, all the stuff that's been whispered in your ear? So the next year, I'm just being dealt with it by years at this point. I had a fear of dying. You know, well, I hope you know, but the devil will use your fear, the devil will use your weakness to really get to you. I had that fear, and so basically, for like a year straight, I was tormented. Like I said, nobody knew, but I was literally being tormented with my fear. My fear, it's like every day, you're finna die. Every day, every single day, every single second that demon or whatever was trying to attack me, you're finna die. Get ready to die. You're not finna live, whatever. And I was so scared. I lived in fear. I It was a very hard year, and like, it even got to the point where I was scared to fall asleep. At one point, I don't even know if it was that time, but I was scared to go to sleep, and I sat there. And at one point, I thought that if I stayed up till like midnight, I will live the next day. And that's so crazy to like think about. Like, really, Asia? I struggled with that, and I was just scared. Like, every day, I was scared to do anything. Like, you see all of this stuff that goes on in the world. You hear people dying every day. The time that I got delivered from that was when I went to this church service, and basically they called up people who were like being tormented with dying or something, or being told that you're finna die, and somebody prayed, and that spirit went away from me too, and I was just fine after that. I really want to tell y'all that depression, it won't always just pick up and leave. and just stay away, because it did not. It definitely came back. Fast forwarding to college. Yay. Okay, so I'm a mama's girl, period. I like to be up under my mama. I love my mama with everything in me. So basically, even though I only go to college like 2.5 hours away, I've never really been away from home. I was always the homebody, the person who like, I stay home. Like, I was either at home or I was with my boo. And yeah, like, that's just how it went. So going to college, it was something different, and change is not always easy. And some people, they were excited to get out of the house. They were excited to go live, go explore, go do whatever you want to. And I was, but I don't know what happened. But basically, I was in college. I was by myself. I didn't really know anybody. I didn't have no friends. The friends that I did have, they didn't go to FSU. I go to FSU. God knows. And yeah, it was just like a really hard time for me. It was a really hard adjustment for me because I was out of my comfort zone. And I'm not this social person that just is in everyone's space. I didn't really make friends when I first went to college. And I was literally like by myself. I was on the phone with my boyfriend, and yeah, that was basically my friend. Me and my roommate, we were cool, but I was still depressed. And the depression really truly hit when I went in for fall, because that was the summer. I didn't really know anyone. So the fall was a whole different ballgame. So the summer, you're supposed to come, you're supposed to meet people so that the fall transition can be easier. I didn't really know anyone, and then I had a roommate. She did not like me, and yeah, so basically I was just living with, I was not in a good living space. I was not at all. Now, on top of dealing with somebody who doesn't like me and then being depressed, is like just great. I stayed in my room all the time. I never really got out to get the college experience. I wasn't really social. I didn't really make any friends. I didn't really do much. It was just like school. It just sucked. Like, I was out of my comfort zone, and I guess I wasn't willing to get out. On top of feeling the college depression, I went through the breakup. And like I said, I was like one of the only people that I talked to really at the time. And so like losing him was horrible, and it took a huge toll on me. And you already know the breakup depression is, it ain't no game. That breakup depression is, that hits really bad. It was a long breakup, like I said. If you need help on getting through a breakup, I'll have the video up there. Basically, the breakup, it really took a huge toll on me, because that was kind of, I don't want to say that kind of, but that was like my life. That was, I put my everything into that relationship. I didn't really have anything outside of that relationship. Yes, I had family and all that stuff, but yeah, I was willing to give everything up for that dude. So just to have like your world come crashing down and like all your plans just get canceled, and then you're just like, what the freak do I do in my life now? And then over the summer, I got through it by dancing, and I thought I was fine. I started my business. I got with a new boo, period. I got with somebody else, and I was good. Like, there was nothing really going wrong in my life. College, I still dealt with that, but I thought it was good. I thought it was peaches and cream, and on the inside, it really wasn't. Like, I had everything going for me. I was doing so good, or I felt like I was doing so good. Like, if you making good grades in school, you got a nice relationship, you got your head on straight, you got a business, you smart, pretty, period. Why do I keep saying period? Hey, just stop. Okay, so yeah, you have like, you're literally the whole package in your life. It's just fine. Like, I had no reason to be depressed. And then it wasn't until a couple months ago that I really realized that I was depressed, and I did not know it, because like I said, I thought I got through the breakup, but I still was depressed, and I thought that I was good. But I realized that I wasn't. I was still feeling low, like I wasn't happy. But yeah, basically nothing I did satisfied me. There was nothing that really made me happy. There was nothing that really got to me or got to the point where like on the inside I was so happy and so satisfied, and it was like nothing, like at all. Like I could probably win $1 million and I still wouldn't be happy. And yeah, I realized that, and I was like, are you serious? Because it snuck up on me and I didn't even know it. I was living a life that people probably dream of living, and I was not happy and nothing fulfilled me. It really sucked because I'm like, why am I not happy? Like, why is nothing satisfying me? Deep down inside, I knew that I was not supposed to be in a relationship. I knew that after being broken by someone, I was supposed to find my healing in God. I was supposed to go seek Him and make Him my happiness, make Him my peace, all of that stuff, and try to find fulfillment through Him. But instead of doing that, I went to another guy, and I feel like that's what a lot of people do, and we shouldn't do that at all because it's not gonna work. And then all of this coronavirus stuff happened, and I had to come back home, and I was like, okay, so this is the time that we're supposed to be inside seeking God's face. We're supposed to be trying to seek Him, grow a relationship with Him, and basically live for Him and basically turn for Him. And so I did that, and when I tell y'all, I was the happiest person ever. I was fulfilled. I was at peace. Nothing could bring me down. I promise y'all, I was on cloud 1000 just by trying to build a relationship with Jesus, and it was great. It was great. I definitely recommend. And then I fell back into depression. But I can tell that I'm depressed when I'm in my room and I don't feel like doing anything, and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to be bothered. I have no motivation. I just want to sit in my bed and I'm just like there, and the dark cloud is over me and I'm just sitting there. So that's literally what happened, and it snuck up on me again. After everything that's going on in the world, I really went into a place where I lost hope. I sat there and I was like, what's the point of doing anything? Because like this world is not going right. Nothing is finna go back the same. My business probably can't operate anymore. Ooh. What's the point of getting up and trying to do something? What is the point of trying to get up and try to make something out of myself if I'm not even finna have the opportunity to do so? What's the point of putting in all this work and it's just finna be for nothing? And that's really where I was. I lost hope. I lost motivation. It was a struggle making this video, or like putting myself in the mindset to make this video. And I was on this prophet's page, and she said to pray for the children and pray against the spirit of suicide, especially through the months of June and August. And I know that one of the leading causes to suicide is depression. And I was like, I would be so selfish to keep what I know away from people who need it. If I can save a life, if I can save somebody's soul, it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. I'm finna push myself to make this video. I was feeling down, and I was like, I knew that when I tried to make this video, or when I was going to make this video, I knew that I was finna go through it. I knew that the devil was finna try to attack me. I knew that all of this stuff was probably finna come my way. I didn't know how it was going to come, but I went back into what I went through before. For the past few days, I had to force myself out of the bed, and I had to push myself to make this video. And then last night, why do I do that? Okay. Last night, I went into my mode where I was like, God, I'm not pleasing you. I'm not. I'm just a disappointment. It's not finna work. I'm finna make this video, or I can't even make the video. I was believing that he wasn't finna speak through me. I don't really like public speaking, I guess, and so talking about this is hard. But yeah, I fell into it for a little bit, but then I realized that that's like the same tactic that had me down in 2013, and I was like, no, you're not finna do this to me again. I'm not finna let you do this to me again. I'm finna get up and I'm finna make this video. And so I'm here. I'm okay, I promise, but it's just, oh God, okay. I don't know how this video is finna go, so I hope that you related to my story in some way, shape, or form. I didn't like say everything because it's probably all finna come out through the video.